really happy and proud of that group, and a good 2 days of prep. With Air Force, you'd love to kind of have that part of the schedule where you have an off day to kind of discuss it and let them get a day of rest so that you can get more live reps before you play them. The way the schedule worked out, though, the guys had to turn around pretty quickly and start getting ready for them mentally, which is tough. But you guys did a great job, just from the start of setting the tone and making things difficult. A lot of deflections. So the energy level was there, but it was combined with the mental approach that was needed, and so it ended up being a good night for us.
What do you attribute that early energy and intensity to? Did you guys do anything differently, or was there a focus on that, or what do you attribute that to?
I think it's just and not that in other games it's not, it's just there's a level of respect for Air Force and how hard they cut, how hard they play, because one of the breakdowns that Coach Saxon had for him is, showing the guys how hard they cut, how hard they move, even though it's not the guy that's going to get it. And he takes two defenders with him, and he doesn't get the pass, he doesn't get the points, he doesn't get the recognition for it, but at any point in time, he's the one that goes, it distorts your defense, and then somebody gets a wide open shot. And I think, Coach Saxon especially making sure that we understood that, the guys understood that from the start, just like he did the first time. It gets your antenna up, because you cannot take a break, you can't peek, you can't gamble, you just have to be incredibly solid, you got to play the clock. We've been saying that for 2 days. I'm sure you heard it yesterday that we got to play the clock. No matter how much time's up on the shot clock, you got to play that clock out, and then you got to finish it with a rebound. And so I think the guys just out of respect for how hard Air Force plays and what they run, knew that getting off to a good start and setting a tone on that end of the floor was a big key for us.
Kevin, obviously tremendous balance, right, from an offensive standpoint for your team tonight. But what does this mean for your team moving forward, knowing that you can get a win like this, right, where you put up a solid number offensively, but still D-Don is not the major focus, right? A guy that's not the guy that's really leading the way offensively for you.
Yeah, I think it kind of just like you said, it was a great balance throughout. A lot of guys made plays, made shots, created for each other, and it led to a really good. Like you said, a good balance for us where a lot of guys are sharing it, and 12 assists, but at the same time, guys were driving with the intention of finishing, and being aggressive, and if they were stopped, they kicked it out, and the next teammate made a play. But really the spacing of it. I think when we go back and watch the film, we're going to be really proud of how our spacing and how it got better kind of as the game went on, and we were able to kind of get Air Force into some closeouts and able to attack and make plays from there.
You guys hopped into that 2-3 zone, I think immediately after tip-off. It looked like it kind of froze Air Force's offense. I know you haven't watched the film yet, but what kind of tone do you feel like that early zone set?
Us?
Yeah.
We've never played zone.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out what happened on the
I can go context for it. So because again, the last handful of games, we've been much more up kind of into the ball and pressured it a little bit, but with Air Force, our main concern was not to get extended. So we told the guys to kind of be back on the three-point line, so that if you saw as Air Force came out of the backcourt with that pace, we didn't want to just be running with them, because that's kind of you're kind of starting the possession getting tired almost. So we really wanted to pull that back. That way, when they ran that kind of weave and that action, and they were already running into at full speed, we could kind of meet those cuts. So it kind of did. That's great if it looked like a zone, because maybe they said we were running a zone, but really it was just more of us being extremely conservative, because our number one priority when we play Air Force is no back cuts. Because as soon as you start turning and chasing and defenders are helping, that's where they get all their looks. And I think the guys did a really good job, especially in the first 30 minutes, of giving up no back cuts and pushing everything kind of up the floor and make those threes as tough as possible. And I thought guys just did a really good job of that.
And then in that same regard, Ethan Taylor scored in double figures, I think, in 11 straight games before New Mexico held him to 8. You guys held him to 6 tonight. Kind of what went into kind of containing him?
I think just the focus and attention of knowing how good of a player he is, knowing how aggressive he is. But, like I talked about to Mike's question, they do such a good job of having somebody cut and two defenders go, and Taylor gets an open shot or Kearney gets an open shot. So to limit those situations where we had two guys lunging or being out of position for an open shot, I think really helped being able to kind of stay in between not only Taylor, but really a lot of their three-point looks. And of course, any ball screen, we had to give it so much attention because he's a really good player. I mean, he is a really good player. He's been shooting the ball so well that the guys really just knew that and respected it, I think, going in. And I thought, again, not giving up those back cuts and chasing, I think when we go back and watch it again, hopefully it'll show a couple times that it limited maybe a look he could have gotten.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
For either one of you guys, 5 players in double figures tonight, none of them are DJ. Kind of how big is that for this locker room to go and get a victory for your 19-year-old sophomore?
I think it's really good that we all distributed the points. Like BK came out and was on fire, so we just kept giving him the ball. And whoever was scoring, we was just all sharing the rock and just letting Coach Kruger just draw plays and just letting us all kind of play freely, really, because we got up early and he kind of just let us play how we wanted. So.
In Brooklyn, since the Boise State game, kind of a different intention from Jaden as well as Julian in terms of scoring. What have you seen from them over the last couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, they're both natural scorers, so it's good to see them get in their groove. Julian hitting his shots, Henley can really handle it and get to his spot, so I mean, it's awesome to see them really hooping right now.
Bear, the team came out with a good energy to start the first half and the second half, I thought. What do you attribute that to, the way that you guys played, the intensity early?
Before we ran out, we were in the locker room and we were just playing music and trying to get our intensity up before we ran out. So before we ran out, we kind of got our intensity up, and then whenever we ran out, it showed how we played. And we were just trying to really start it on defense and just get stops and stops. The offense will eventually come. But, yeah, we just tried to start it on defense and then just kept the intensity rolling.
Was that any different from your pregame routine in other games?
No. We try to get our intensity going before the game every time. So.
What song?
What was it, From the D to the A by T Grizzly?
Yeah, song T Grizzly,
yeah.
For sure.
Just for Bear, what was working for you tonight, led the team in scoring?
Posting early, for sure. Coach Maul was telling me just work, just run down the middle and just seal every time. It'll eventually come. You might not get it every time, but just really sealing early was helping me get the ball and get easy buckets. So.
For Brooklyn, was there an intent coming into the game stated by the coaches, or maybe it was on you guys to attack? Because you really attacked them and turned the corner.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always good to get a paint touch and then play from there. So I think once we realized it was pretty easy to get in the paint, everybody was just kind of flowing that way. So it was really good for us to play how we're supposed to.
And for Bear, like the last 7 games, your scoring's been way up. So what do you attribute that to? And I also wanted to ask about some of the post feeds today. What do you think about some of the post feeds like Rishween?
I think they're really good. I think when the conference first started, I think I was struggling a little bit trying to adjust to people scouting me really hard. And so once I adjusted and all my teammates helping me out and telling me always, use your left hand, they get mad at me when I don't. So I really think that did help me a lot. So just posting early and things like that.
And how about that post feed from Rich Wayne? It looked like there was a little English. It was hard. And then DJ got you like 2 trips, from 20 feet out. He whipped one at you.
Yeah, Julian, he always does that in practice. You can ask BK. He tries to whip stuff around, so I'm always kind of ready for it. He tries to surprise me, and so does DJ. DJ will throw no looks, and he'll zip him in there. So I really get used to it in practice, for sure.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.